Hi, my name's Logan.
And I'm Alyssa.
And today's Friday.
No, I don't know why you keep saying that.
I just really desperately want it to be a Friday. This is an episode of The Marketer's Cut. It's episode 8.
We talk about movies and marketing and bad when it's bad.
And bad.
We make it bad.
We're bad and we make it bad.
Sure.
Yeah. But bad's like the new good, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Okay. So we're going to jump into our 2 movies for today pretty soon. Soul and Inside Out. It's Pixar's newest movie and one of Pixar's newest movies.
It's also not false.
Yeah, I mean, like, 2015 feels like it was...
Okay, you're doing it all wrong. These are Pixar's 2 deepest movies.
That's an arguable case, yeah.
So I think we're starting out by we're all the way in the bottom of the hole. And then we go to Inside Out. We're going to pull ourselves out of the hole a little bit. Not as deep, but we're still in there.
That's true. Well, then let's get started with Disney Pixar's Soul. That's my cue, huh? Who was it directed by?
Pete Docter, written by Pete Docter.
It was also directed by Kent Powers.
And Kent Powers, also written by Pete Docter, Kent Powers, and Marlon Brando.
Nope, not Marlon Brando. Also written by Mike Jones, starring Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, Graham Norton, Angela Bassett. Daveed Diggs is in this movie as well. The Thomas Jefferson from Hamilton.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I think I said that when we were watching the movie.
He's the sign dude.
Yeah, I think I said that during the movie.
You did. You were like, I think I hear his voice. So, really cool cast. Interesting cast, I think.
Interesting, cool cast.
Distributor is obviously Disney because it released on Christmas Day on Disney+.
Yes.
Pretty interesting release.
Only on Disney+?
Only on Disney+. It did release in theaters internationally in places that did not have Disney+.
Okay.
Yeah, but markets that have Disney+, that's where you gotta watch it. What did you think of this movie?
I think it is very deep. I think it may be mature isn't the right word, but it's a lot for a child to watch. I
would say terrifying in some cases.
I think so. But I thought it was funny at times. Like, I really liked the characters and just the development of the story. And that's my take on it. I enjoyed it. It was way different than I think Pixar's ever done. Again, closest thing I could think of is Inside Out, and that still doesn't really touch it. It was good.
Yeah, I also enjoyed it. Not my favorite Pixar. It's probably middle of the road for me. Maybe a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, I can see middle of the road.
But I did love a lot of aspects of it. I loved the music. I loved the main character. What's his name in the movie?
I forgot.
Yeah, Joe something. Now it's really blanking on me.
It's on the front of the poster.
We'll find out. I think it just says Joe.
Gardner?
Joe Gardner.
Oh, you just didn't remember the last name?
No, I didn't remember the last name.
I only knew the last name.
But I thought he was a great character. A sort of... I mean, that's where all the depth is. That's where you feel like the midlife crisis sort of thing and him, like, coming to terms with what life really is.
Yeah.
And stuff. So he brought a lot to it. And, Jamie Foxx was absolutely amazing in this role. And I'll talk more about that Jamie Foxx aspect a little bit later when we get into some stuff. But, yeah, I did really enjoy the movie. It was made on a $150 million budget. We can't really say much for that because we don't know what the box office numbers would have been or, how it's affecting Disney Plus's subscriber numbers. But I can say that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. I know if it were to come in theaters and this year would have been completely different, we would have been seeing it probably on Christmas Day.
Well, it would have come out, if this year would have been normal, it would have come out, I think it was in summer originally, and it got delayed.
Oh, yeah, well, we would have seen it as soon as it came out.
And I mean, looking at Pixar's track record, this movie would have made a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So, who knows what it's doing for Disney Plus and how it's affecting that. But maybe it is a big success on those metrics. We just don't know what they are.
That's true.
Rotten Tomatoes, 97%, which is, pretty good and pretty expected. It premiered at the London Film Festival in October 2020, and around that time is actually when they also announced that it was going to streaming instead of going to theaters, which was actually announced on our birthday.
Yes.
Nice little birthday gift for us. But yeah, I remember hearing a lot of buzz early about this movie, about how great it was and how moving and impactful it was. And I think a lot of that came out of like this film festivals that it premiered at and everything. The score. Let's talk about this real quick. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, the composers of, kid-friendly movies like Gone Girl and The Social Network and Mank, also did the score for this movie. Pixar really wanted them, I guess.
Yeah, that's a very interesting choice. I mean, I felt like the music was great.
Oh, it was amazing.
Very different for what you would think these child movie people would pick.
Yeah. And there was also some original jazz music written for the film by John Batiste, which was amazing. The music was really phenomenal. Both of those were actually released physically on vinyl. The score composed by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and the original jazz music. So that's pretty cool. And I would definitely buy something like that on vinyl.
Yeah, I think it would be worth having it on vinyl. I think it'd be nice to just play around the house.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm cleaning or dancing or cooking. Or like all three at the same time sometimes.
That seems...
I don't have any limits.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And then also there's like a digital version that just puts it all together on Spotify and stuff like that. Which I think this is a score I would revisit. I would come back to and listen to this, when I'm trying to get some work done and everything.
I agree. There are a lot of Disney scores where you're like, yeah, this song really slaps. Like, I'm going to listen to it. But this would be something more casual to put on the background. It's like, yeah, this is Disney, but it's not... Yeah. I don't know. There's like You Got a Friend in Me, you're like, oh, wow, Toy Story. But you're just like, this is like a, nice jazz thing that I heard in Soul. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's move on to the trailers and posters for this movie. So, what do you think of the trailer?
For the teaser...
This one... I think we just watched.
You're right. Yeah. I thought it was good.
I love the...
I'm trying to remember what I thought about it. I'm pretty sure I thought it was good.
I'll tell you what I thought real quick to maybe refresh your memory. It starts with like the worst noise ever. It's Joe screaming as he's falling into a hole. Except the screen's black. You don't see him falling into a hole. You don't see him at all. It's just black and they're screaming. And I didn't really connect the sound to a scream. So I was more bewildered and a little scared at first. Like, what is happening in this sound? So that's my original thought on the trailer. But past that, I thought it looked like a really fun movie that was going to hit some deeper tones. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah.
Sure.
Deeper ideas.
Deeper ideas, yeah. And it looked like it was going to have really cool music. The animation looked phenomenal. Like, Pixar just steps up their game with every movie. So that obviously drew me in. But I did think the trailer... It didn't do a great job of differentiating it from Inside Out. Because, 2 or 3 movies ago, Pixar released a movie where little, tiny, colorful blob people represent our innate personality. And... I just didn't know how this was going to be much different.
I agree. I do remember that. And yeah, being like, okay, how is this different from Inside Out? How they could have done that, I'm not completely sure without you showing those little soul figures and not thinking, oh, is this Inside Out again? But...
It didn't help that the one movie they kept referencing in the Soul trailer was Inside Out. Like, from the creators of Inside Out. And stuff. When Pixar has other movies they could pull from, I get Inside Out's like super successful, so they want to.
And most similar, technically.
Yeah, most similar technically, but I think that was, to me, it made me a little bit less excited because I was like, are they, we've seen like Pixar do the sequels, like Toy Story 4, and I love Toy Story 4, but I was not as excited for it as I was for something like Onward,
Yeah.
like a new original movie from them. So this felt somewhere in between, like that excitement I get for a new original movie and the sort of disappointment I get from knowing that they have like another sequel coming.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. The poster. Anything you want to say about that?
It is cool. You just got Joe on there. He's having a good time. The background is dark, which is not typical of Pixar, but I like it because to me, you're like thinking you're inside something and you're kind of like inside, Joe's soul. Where's it at? Where are you? Are you in this hole?
You're reading a lot into the poster.
Thank you.
I was going to say I thought the colors are cool.
I also think, I was about to say that. The colors are cool.
I was going to say I like the cat. And you're like, the colors represent where Joe's soul is at. And where are you at in relation to Joe's soul?
Well, I mean, I don't know why else it would be that dark.
I mean,
it's like making you think you're enclosed in something.
No, you took an art history class, and I didn't. I get it.
Okay.
You were an art major.
Minor, I'm
sorry. You were an art minor. I doodle sometimes on my hand.
No, you don't.
Sometimes I do.
When's the last time you doodled on your hand?
Well, maybe like 6th grade. Have you ever seen me do like a face on my hand and talk with it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, exactly. Case closed.
When's the last time you did that?
Yesterday. You were working, you didn't see. And I washed my hands because I wash them so much because of COVID now, so it's gone. It's not pinky swearing to that.
Okay, then that means something, but all right.
I think the poster's pretty cool.
Good insight.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So let's jump into our marketing ideas for this movie. Do you have something that you want to say?
Yeah, I do have something I want to say. You also have something you want to say.
You go first.
Okay. So I was thinking, you have all this very famous Disney music. You have You'll Be in My Heart, the Tarzan, You've Got a Friend in Me, Toy Story. I think that they should do jazz renditions of these songs and put it on an album.
Did you say Tarzan? Because you're going all Disney stuff, not just Pixar, but like Disney stuff in general.
Why not?
I guess you're right. Yeah, it is a Disney.
Because some of them might not have as many like original songs, quote unquote. Now, the more I think about it, like I don't know if I want a jazz rendition of Let It Go.
Oh no, we need a jazz version of Let It Go.
I mean, it might make
I want to see Joe Gardner slamming those keys to Let It Go.
I would maybe like Let It Go more in that situation. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my idea. I think it'd be cool to be like, since Soul's coming out, check out this cool stuff we did with these other songs that you really love. We made them like kind of jazzy.
Yeah, I'd buy that. I'd listen to it.
Me too.
Cool. Well, before I say my next idea, or my first idea, I want to talk about one of the wackier ideas that the boys up in the Pixar Tower decided on. So, you know how in this movie there's one scene where, well, I guess there's also the barbershop scene, but then there's the other scene where they have the clippers and he's trying to cut his own hair and they mess it up. Wall, which is a premier razor hair trimmer clippers brand.
Luxurious.
I wouldn't say luxurious. It's just when you're doing research saying what's the best one, this one comes up all the time. They have a Soul branded hair trimmer clipper thing. It's called the Disney Pixar Soul Cordless Senior. Now I am a little confused as why it's called Cordless Senior. You're like, is it both?
I would shave my head with that.
Okay. I would love to see that. But I thought that was pretty wacky. Because, like, are people really buying this? It was $120.
$160?
$160, my bad. A lot of money. So, yeah, just off the back of that wild idea, let's talk about my next one, which is the New York Knicks. Okay? So this movie dunks on pun not intended, but great, dunks on the New York Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
It dunks on them so good. And I laughed really hard. And I think that there should be something dunking on them even more. Like, buy out ad space during a Knicks game
Okay.
with like a little 30-second clip that includes that joke from the movie.
That would actually be really funny.
It'd be hilarious.
I agree. That's
And like
actually
maybe
a good
Knicks
idea.
fans like wouldn't like it, but also like Knicks fans are used to it. They're used to the sadness. You know
That's
what
true.
I'm
So
saying?
they might like it.
Yeah,
They might
maybe
be like,
maybe they'll laugh at their own misery.
yeah.
And I think it'd be really great. And I like making fun of bad basketball teams.
How nice of you.
Particularly the Knicks, because they're just hilariously bad. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a
Yes.
cool idea. You wanna go to you now? I have another idea if you don't have anything ready at the moment.
Well, I want to talk about. No, you go. I don't have anything.
So another thing I got is sort of based on something that they also did to market this movie. So one thing they did was on December 16th, they released the first couple episodes of a podcast exclusive to Spotify called Soul Stories that was hosted by Kemp Powers, the co-writer and co-director of this movie, who, if you don't know, is also a playwright and a screenwriter who wrote the play One Night in Miami that the film was based on. He also wrote the film that's coming out in a couple weeks. So very talented guy, but he hosts this podcast. I listened to an episode of it today, the one that has Jamie Foxx on it. And it's a really great interview. You hear a lot of stuff about Jamie Foxx's like connection to music. He's actually a musician before like anything else.
Interesting.
Like it's his main passion, which I thought was cool. And he talks a little bit about how he like gave free music lessons to a kid once. And I think it'd be cool to get a short little music lesson from Jamie Foxx on like the Soul YouTube channel or something, you know?
Oh, that could be cool.
Just a short music lesson, just like 5 minutes. Like explain what the notes on or the keys on a keyboard are. Like what notes, you know what I'm saying? I think it'd be kind of cool. I'd like it. It'd help refresh my memory because I'm no expert musician by any means. So I think that'd be really cool.
My cool YouTube idea is that I am Alyssa on the street, and I go to people and I say, "What's your soul thing?" And then they tell me.
What's your soul thing?
But then is it offensive for me to be like, if they're like, "I like to draw," I say, "We'll draw something right now." But like it doesn't have to be anything like in detail. Like I just want to see you draw and like be happy.
Hey, what's your calling? Oh, heart surgery. Do it right now.
Okay, well,
Do it to me right now.
It's probably not gonna be like that. It could be
You
like
don't know.
music or like I have a lot of things, and I'm only gonna put in the things I have. Someone's like guitar, and it's like here's a guitar. Can you play me, some 5-second thing, and then I want them. I don't know. I want to see them be happy or something.
That's cool. That's cool.
Thanks.
I have a cool thing.
Okay.
Soul gummies.
Okay.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Another thing I want to bring up here is that Blue Apron released like 3 soul-inspired recipes. Are they actually inspired by the movie? Hell no. I looked at these recipes. One is like harmonic chicken. Like yeah, I can add harmonic before any recipe I make, and is it soul-inspired? I don't think Jamie Foxx would say so. But I'm gonna make my own soul-inspired recipe, and I'm gonna sell it off to HelloFresh.
Listen. Number one, I do think, well, only number one. I have no number two. Jamie Foxx would, if they paid him, hey, Jamie Foxx, will you just tell people that this is like soul because we put harmonic before it? And he'd have to be like, yes, thank you for this $5,000.
Okay, well, they could do that. But
Okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to do soul gummies, all right? And it's going to be something that you put inside your body. And you know how, like, when the soul goes inside a body, it, like, you know, it affects who that body is. So I want these soul gummies to be drugs.
Okay. Okay.
You put drugs in them, and then you eat them, and it's like the soul takes over when you put them in. And that's my idea.
And you're going to sell this to HelloFresh, you said?
HelloFresh. Yes, the thing that sponsors all podcasts,
Yeah.
HelloFresh and Blue Apron, who sponsor all the podcasts. We're definitely building a great initial relationship with them with this segment right now.
Yep. Uh-huh.
So HelloFresh, come. I have the recipe. I actually don't. I don't know anything about drugs, but I can figure out a recipe, and we'll have some soul gummies.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about Inside Out now. I don't want to talk
Okay.
about your drug gummies anymore.
Okay, that's a good point. To break up the segments, I'm gonna add something I've never done before, and
Okay.
it's called my favorite tweet from my account this week. Earlier today, I tweeted a picture of my new tea organizer, and I said, "I'm thirsty" with a capital T, and the T was spelled TEA. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
You don't think that was good?
All right, let's move on. Inside Out, written by Pete Docter,
Directed by Pete Docter.
directed by Pete Docter.
Who else wrote it?
Wayne Newton.
Nope. No. Meg LaFave and Josh Cooley also wrote it.
Not Wayne.
Not Wayne Newton, whoever the hell that is. It's starring Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, Richard Kind, Lewis Black, Mindy Kaling, Bill Hader. I just listed a lot of names, but it's fair because those names are all pretty prominent in the movie. It's distributed by Disney. It opened summer 2015.
We saw it together, like, almost as soon as it came out.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We also went to see it with a coworker of mine. Together, like it's just me and Alyssa and this coworker,
Yes.
and that was interesting.
Yeah, she unfollowed me on Instagram recently. So
That's true.
she just made a new Instagram, followed me, and then unfollowed me again. Why? I don't know. Here we are.
Probably post too much about our podcast. You don't post about our podcast at all on your Instagram.
Nope, I don't. So why doesn't she like me?
That's rude. Post about our podcast on your Instagram, please.
Do you post about our podcast on your Instagram?
I did it once or twice.
No. Oh, on your story? I've done that.
I've done it on my story.
Okay, I've done it on my story.
I'm gonna fight you.
Well, I started yelling at a 3-year-old today, and I don't think you want to mess with me.
Okay, well.
Because
you're right.
I
You're
almost
right.
kicked his ass.
Okay, don't say that on the podcast. Okay, so the budget for this movie was higher than Soul. It is $175 million, but it did get to release in theaters, and made $90 million opening weekend, and total made $858 million worldwide.
Okay.
And we talk about that 40-60 domestic international split a lot, and it was split almost exactly 40 to 60% this time. So like they hit it right on the money.
Hit that money. Good.
Okay. Rotten Tomatoes a little bit higher than Soul at 98%.
Only by 1%.
Yeah. Cinema score is an A, which means people were really feeling satisfied walking out of that theater. Which is good though. I mean that means that the trailers made people want to go see it because it did have a really good opening weekend. Made people both want to go see it, and then they walked out feeling satisfied. They didn't feel duped. They didn't feel like they were lied to.
Oh, that's good.
So props to the marketers.
Good for them.
Yep. This was the first animated movie released in Dolby Vision. Just a little bit of extra firepower they had to push this movie, It's a cool thing. It did have the short film before it, which was not right before Soul, but is apparently on Disney Plus. But the short film before Inside Out was Lava. Really fun, sweet, great short film. And one other thing I just want to say is that there was also a short film added to the home video release called Riley's First Date, which Alyssa has seen. I have not.
Can we watch that after this?
Yeah, sure. Yes. But that's another cool thing. If we're talking about movie marketing, we got to talk about how they market home videos sometimes. And adding another short film with like your main character is a big pull, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
So let's talk about the posters and the trailers. Let's start with the trailer. That really interesting teaser. What did you think?
Okay, well, let's tell everybody about it. So, you go in, and Pixar's like, well, remember when you felt all these emotions during these other movies? And then they're like, remember when you were happy or at this time? Remember how sad you were? And remember when Carl's wife died. And hey, remember when Wally was sad because everyone was killing the Earth? There's another really sad moment in there. They're like, "Oh, Boo!" Sully had to leave Boo, and it's like, remember how fucking sad you were?
Guys, I think Alyssa's crying now.
And then they're like, "Yeah, well, guess what? We put all the emotions right into another movie, and I hope you love it." Yeah, Carl's wife did die, but get ready for this cool new movie we did. And so then they started showing it, and then they sing "Sweet Emotion" over the parts with Inside Out. It's not. I really don't think that music was choice. I think the trailer's pretty good. Because it's like, hey, it's banking on their other stuff. It's pulling back from these movies you love. And, like, we're going to all make another movie you love. But then they put Sweet Emotion over it. I didn't really love that.
I like the music.
No.
But I like that it's just them saying Sweet Emotion with, like, the characters, like, jumping almost George Lopez style, it feels like. Right? Are they kind of, like, coming into the screen?
They might have.
Do you remember the George Lopez?
Yes. You don't have to tell me about that.
Okay, so it kind of reminds me of that. Really, I think the trailer just evokes George Lopez, and that makes me want to see a movie.
I don't think that's true, but all right.
I agree, though. Wild trailer choice. Something that I remembered from when it was in theaters. I didn't even have to go watch the trailer to remember it. Like, it stuck with me because I remembered how weird it was that they showed, like, clips of other movies.
Yeah.
What about the official trailer? Like, the one that's actually showing the dinner table scene.
It was really funny. And you watch it and you're like, oh, this is going to be a good, funny movie.
Yeah, it was a hit in theaters. Like, when I saw the trailer in theaters watching other movies, like, the crowds around me, like, busted out laughing during this trailer every time.
Yeah, I think it was really funny and a good way. I mean, it didn't really tell you a whole lot about the movie, but it made you think, well, at least it's going to be funny. At least it's going to be a funny one.
That's true. What about the poster?
Okay, well, it's got a lot of colorful circles on it, and Logan said earlier, that doesn't make any sense. Why they got colorful circles? Because their memories are connected with a color, and it's in a sphere. So that's why it's circles. It's really colorful and cute, and it also has a dark background because it's kind of all in this mind that's all trapped inside the brain, and all the emotions are there, doing their emotions. And it's a pretty solid, colorful, nice, interesting poster.
Well, it's so weird. The wind just blew a piece of paper in front of me. I'm reading it now, and it says, Alyssa Bland, minor in art. The world just wanted to remind us all that Alyssa has this art degree.
How many art classes have you taken?
I took one in elementary school, and it was taught by my best friend's stepdad. And I learned how to draw an apple, I think. And then I also took a lot of film classes, and films and art, baby. Films and art.
How many? You've named one class.
We're moving on. No, I agree with you about the poster. Pretty cool. Pretty clean style. Mm-hmm. And pretty iconic because the style kind of stuck with the movie. Even to now, you see it and you think Inside Out. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about our great funny ideas. I should not have said funny ideas because now if they're not funny, we did a bad job of setting up what people should expect.
What bad ideas?
Yeah, these ideas are going to be bad. So now that when we say something funny, they're like, oh wow.
Well, now we just said both, so I think there's just going to be neutral ideas.
No. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start off with my first idea, Inside Out Gummies. All right.
I don't want to hear this.
And again, they're just drugs. Okay, let's go.
Well, what'd be cool is if the drugs, but like, they made you feel different emotions. That is actually kind of cool. You can't really do that in real life. But like, that's kind of a cool idea. Is like, oh, here's a box of them. Do you want a blue one to feel sad? It's here. Do you want to feel fearful? Here it is.
There's another podcast I listened to that I think said that there is like a sort of heart medication that makes people, or it's like a blood pressure medication. It's some sort of medication that some people need and stuff. But there's a side effect that was sort of just ignored on it, and it makes people like angry and irritable. So you use that. That's your angry drug right there.
I mean, you just use some Prozac for the happy.
Wow. Wow.
Zoloft.
I don't even know what these are.
Well,
Are these like antidepressants?
very just standard. I mean, just anyone could say those words and you would think antidepressant.
Well, I guessed it right, so give me some credit there.
Okay, fearful. I don't know. You just take a tranquilizer.
CBD, anti-CBD.
I don't think. Okay, well, sad. I don't know. You just inject somebody else's blood.
There's like CBD oil injection, and there's CBD extraction, and that's the anger, or that's the fear one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how you'd make it sad.
CBD vampires, where they suck the CBD out of you.
I want to stop talking about this. I want to make sadness gummies out of tears.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Whose tears?
It doesn't matter. It
Your
doesn't
tears?
matter. I could supply tears. If I needed to. I would
Okay.
also want to get paid.
That's a fair point. Guys, donate your tears. We're making gummies over here.
Well, no, I'm not going to make the gummies. Someone medically qualified. Well, we're not going to give out fake gummies. I'm
That's
just
true.
supplying the tears.
Yeah, this is a serious idea. This is a real thing that we need real people for. Okay. Wow. So we've talked a lot about drugs and medications on this episode so far.
Yeah, what's your next idea?
Inside Out music lesson? No, I can't copy that one too. Okay, another idea. Okay, I like this one. So like people do their interviews, actors do their interviews on like Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert. They kiss Stephen Colbert sometimes.
Yeah.
They do their interviews and stuff. And I think it'd be really cool if you just had the actors go, like, do their interview rounds and stuff, and then maybe took a couple clips of like their funniest moments on those interviews, and then created animation of the emotions inside their head, like controlling them, kind of like in the trailer that you see. So Amy Poehler's on this interview and is like, "Oh, this story made me sad, but it made me happy," and you show her emotions like arguing in her head about what to say and everything. Could be a little funny thing.
That could be a little funny thing.
Yeah.
When I'm imagining it, I'm also imagining them maybe like animated. So like, where's the one where she's green?
Disgust?
Yes. So Disgust, but it's Mindy
Yeah, Mindy
Kaling. And it looks like her character, but like a normal, like what her skin color is, what her hair color is. And she comes out, and then in her head, it's like the little colored figures. That'd be fun.
That would be cool. And pretty interesting, I think.
And pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's hard with this one because they really knocked it out of the park with this movie.
Yeah, when I went to Europe, I saw signs on the back of a bunch of buses about Inside Out coming out. And I literally, to get into my major in the school I was in, I literally wrote a paper and mentioned that. Because I was like, that's just like so cool that I got to see these posters in a different language. And
What else did you do while you were in Europe?
I went to art museums.
Oh, you just want to bring up your art museums again.
I just thought...
You could have said eat food. You could have said stay in European hotels.
Well, I didn't know...
You could have said ride a train. No, art museums.
Well, it just seemed like that's what you were fishing
Alyssa
for.
has an art degree.
A minor.
An art minor. It's still a degree, I think. I don't really know how degrees work. I don't think anyone does.
I didn't have a degree then.
Well, yeah, but now you do.
Bazinga!
Okay, you can't keep saying that on our show.
TM.
No, you can't TM. Bazinga. That's me setting down my tea real loud, but, that's your fault because you just tried to TM Bazinga.
Bazinga TM.
Stop. Wow. Okay, I'm trying to think of one last wacky idea for this movie.
Well, I haven't really even said one yet.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Well, I mean, it's not that I have one, it's just I haven't said one.
Oh.
Well, I was also talking about, like, I'm Bill on the street, I'm Alyssa on the street, and I have the whole crew with me, the whole cast and crew, but really just the main emotions, and they're dressed up like their emotions. They're wearing, their colored hair, green dress, a blue dress, or I guess a yellow dress, whatever. And I'm going around asking people like, well, what would you say to your sadness? They go to the sadness. Maybe they say something to them.
So you're just going to go around asking people for their deepest, darkest sadness?
No, what they would say to their sadness. What would you say?
Oh, I would say simply stop.
Or it's just like a group of people and okay, that's not how that works.
I mean, I know, but it's what I'd say. I don't know what else I would say.
Okay. Or I don't know, you have a big group of people and all these emotions are going around, or they're just like going around to each other and like doing things and people are just watching and they're like, what's going on? It's like, maybe you should watch Inside Out.
Just deeply confuse people to the point where they have no idea what's happening, to where I have no idea what you're even saying, and then I'm like, what? And you're like, no, just go watch Inside Out.
Okay, how did you not understand what I just said?
I'm just getting lost.
Okay.
Your mind's a maze, and I am Theseus.
Oh, no, field mouse. You're a field mouse.
I'm a field mouse.
Yep, you're never getting out. You're a dumb mouse.
Oh, I'm a dumb mouse. Okay, well, you heard it here first, guys. I am a dumb mouse, and Alyssa is an art minor.
Okay, what's your last idea?
I don't know. I was going to end it there because my last idea is not fully formed. And it could be very bad, maybe.
Okay, okay. Just like kind of the drug gummies you were trying to make?
Well, no, those are very good.
Ooh,
My last idea is more drug gummies. Keep them coming. If they fail at first, it's because people weren't ready for it. And they'll be ready next time around.
Next time around, well...
Pixar should just do this for all their movies.
Drug gummies.
Drug gummies.
I don't think they would do well.
Well, agree to disagree.
Okay, well, they would probably get sued.
Agree to agree.
Okay.
On that one.
All right.
Cool. So this has been an episode of The Marketer's Cut. Episode 8. Proud of us.
Wow.
You find us on Twitter and Instagram at Marketer's Cut. Find the podcast anywhere you can find podcasts or on YouTube. Learn more at marketerscut.com. I want to thank Jacob Wall for his art. Find more of his work on Instagram at JacobArtWall. And next week, we're going to be talking about Wonder Woman 1984 and Birds of Prey. That's going to be a fun one. I'm excited to talk about both of these apparently divisive movies. Let's figure out what's going on with these.
Well, now I'm looking at this expensive mic, and I'm thinking...
What's your next thing? What are you doing next?
What am I going to do with this mic? And now, inspired by soul, I'm going to be a jazz snapper. Shh, do not laugh. I'm about to snap. In rhythm, maybe.
Okay,
Hopefully.
no. Go in rhythm. Do your rhythm.
Okay.
All right, this has been Marketer's Cut. Keep snapping. I'm going to fade the music in, and hopefully you're going to be on beat with the music. You almost definitely won't be, though. Goodbye, everyone. Okay, you should stop that. No, stop.
It just kept going. It's just silent and me snapping.